Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Threadlings, a filmmaking production diary. I'm Miguel Ortega, and this is Tran Ma.
Hello, everyone.
We're talking about the making of the Threadlings, a short film done in Unreal Engine. So, yeah, how's everybody doing? Hide this.
Today is especially quiet in the stream.
It's okay. Let's see. I gotta bring in the Threadlings assets. So I'm gonna start framing a shot for the animators. We got one. How's it going? Okay, let's see. So we have this. Let's see. Need one of those cough buttons. Okay, so this goes. There we go. Right there. Let's bring in. Is it 73?
Okay, look, we have a regular. Hey, Netbug. Hello, hello.
Netbug is in the house. So let me see.
Hey, Dago Cart. Are you pulling in like alembics or the rig?
I'm bringing in the rig. We don't have anything for the shot. There's no animation. Let's see, he's over here. So what else is going on, Tran? Let's not be so boring today.
I think I'm a boring person. No, I mean, just I want to see these. I don't know. I want to see these in the shot. In the reel.
For what?
Board, like that whole sequence and everything.
Yeah.
Yep. Or there's still animation tweaks and everything going on. And that's where things get slow to animate.
That's right. I just looking for poses. Other than
What kind of pose are you looking for?
Magneto poses.
This is this sort of animator.
Oh yeah, big time Magneto's definitely.
You have to give when you communicate, you have to give like as clear visual notes as you can, huh?
You mean when I'm sending them stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
because you don't even see them in person. Are you trying to hit a pose?
Yep.
Show the pose you're trying to hit.
Well, I mean, kind of good.
Oh, I see. Okay. So this is can you explain like what I get what you're doing? Can you explain a moment.
You could explain it. You know this moment.
Well,
Right.
you're the one always explaining it to me. So I'll do an imitation of Miguel. So basically, there that's where we pick up. I don't know if you want to show because I have new streamers, new like viewers. But that this character gets in a fight with Hot and Man, which are our main characters. And Zort's something's definitely wrong with Zort. And then they get into a fight with him. And then he does like, I don't know, what do you call this? Like, does like this burst.
Like, yeah, he shows his god status basically.
Yeah. And he lifts into the air and he just blows them away. And then they slam into, like, he basically defeats them. Um, two smaller Threadlings.
Yep. My posing is not good at all. So fair warning. I'm just
Posing is hard.
posing is hard.
Yeah. To show you a reference, I think it's pretty funny because I can see it on it. I would say it's that happy MC day.
Something like that.
Yeah, Miguel and Tran day. Now, when you pose this, you didn't just pass it to the enemy that you want.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're blocking it out. You think you can play some clips for anyone new?
Yeah, but I can only do one thing at a time.
Okay,
But right now my brain is completely maxed out.
how is the air in California? I think it's better. Not getting as much air warning. But when the fire first started, it was really, like noticeably bad.
It was bad inside the studio.
It was bad everywhere. Like I think you'd have to leave like the entire county to get better air. But it was pretty bad. I think it's one of the worst that I've experienced in a while. But I imagine that there's a lot of I don't know. I think everyone's kind of a little delayed. Okay, so oh, I'll also share my screen too. While Miguel is doing that, I'm also trying to get the extras in. Um, this is an extra that is like completely going to be customed, and I have some like textile locked in on him. And normally when I start these, I don't really know what I should get them to look like. So it takes me a bit, but I just start working. And then I kind of end up somewhere. They always look kind of strange when getting, so I usually don't like to show the, the process of picturing this because it always looks really weird until I kind of really just arrive. But I think one thing that kind of pulls together is like if I place like some stitching, like fabric. I want to start with that. Just try to stitch these guys. Okay, so this is a giant stitch. Size that. And then maybe these would look interesting if they had some kind of color. Or at least let's just let me see what this is supposed to look like. Okay. If you ever use like the stitch brush inside of Substance Painter, it doesn't work on default. It's amazing, but it's a little complicated to get started. You have to have a paintable layer, and how to fill, and then you have to use path. And then when you're in the path tool, you have to apply a material onto the brush, which I just applied it again by accident by double clicking it. And so now it's applied, and I'll just select the color again, make it a little bit darker. And then you're still not ready to go. You have to do a few other things. In your alpha, you have to find the rule. Okay, the stitches roll. Otherwise, the stitches don't connect. And you also have to let it follow the path. And then you have to deal with the spacing. Maybe something like that. Now it's actually set up to go. And then from here, I'll just like try to do a few lines like stitches here and adjust like, and I guess I could adjust this width. I haven't tried this one. Okay. Let's adjust the thread thickness. That's a bit better. And then maybe I'll try different stitch. So I actually don't like the typical stitch as much because sometimes it looks really weird. I might do like a decorative. I don't know if I want that on my face. Blanket stitch, I like ladder. Oh, he's like lifting in the air. I can see that in the screen. I like this one.
You like what?
Stitching. The other thing I can do here, if I kind of undo what I did. Oh, it's not gonna fit. I was gonna say I was mirroring this, but I just realized like the mesh is not mirrored really. So if you have like a symmetrical mesh, you can mirror the other side, but I know it's not really. And I'm kind of thinking like if I, get the stitches in, the look of these really weird guys kind of comes in, like know what to do. But I love the new stitching tool. I think stitching, like, it's taking too long to get something that's good. And then a lot of people like do their stitches in like ZBrush, which is like really, really can't change it after that.
You know what's incredible about that stitch brush is it's something that Photoshop has had forever, right? They just basically applied it in 3D, but like having a brush stroke follow a Bezier curve. That's the oldest Photoshop.
Yeah, I don't know why it's so long. Like sometimes I just feel like I don't know, things are not really addressed until like this is like I don't know how long I would do CG. It's like, oh geez, we finally have something like this. It's like an eternity. Let's make it a little bit metallic. I like doing that. And I'll get out of that and I can see how that looks. It looks kind of like a bandit,
Because
you know? That's right. Okay, so let's go back in here and let's try like the nose. But maybe I'll change the pattern. I'll draw a little bit. And I guess this character is gonna look more like a stuffed animal. Can I show you progress?
No.
Now, some of these stitches are super cool, but they look so abstract. Like, you can't tell it's even a stitch sometimes. So I want to be able to make it identifiable, like a stitch of some sort. Let's see. I might switch it, but let's just try. But this tool is like taking a little too long to finally arrive. Okay, so I don't think that stitch works. Actually not putting comb. Like I want like a simple one. Let's go back to like classic. So straight stitch sometimes just looks really it's strange. It kind of just looks wobbly sometimes. So like when I look at this fancy triangle stitch, I gotta correct it a little bit. Um, but when I look at this and I look at different angles, it seems okay. And when I catch like this stitch at a bad angle, it looks really gamey, and that's kind of why I don't like that stitch so much. But I usually don't go for the classic for similar work. It's okay. Go back to a bit. And then just watch where they're hitting on the surface of it. Other thing I like is I can just change the color later, but I'm just gonna stitch it up first. And close that. And I'll come back to the other thing and correct this one here. It just probably needs a little bit more points. Like really misaligning this. Looking at it. Okay. But again, it's great because I can just move it. I try not to get it on the seams because it can look funny. So the stitch only works in 3D. It doesn't work in the 2D space. So a lot of the substance tools can be used like for both, but not this one. Okay, so I have that, and let's try stitch down the center. And maybe 3 inches for up. Try this one. How's your progress on your Magneto resort?
It's going.
The gnome is carrying the fish eye lens spectrum. Must be the nose. Yeah. Well, I think the camera is might be wide. We don't really use like any wide lens. It's a little dark here. I just align my HDR2 camera. This one is like a newer feature, which is really nice. And this is kind of the fun part, like what to do with his mouth. Maybe I can just put it straight down. I'll also do this thing. It should look like I'm missing. So a lot of these seams, like they kind of just look like cloth is laying over it, but the surface is very flat. I'll create a fill called like height seam. Put a black mask. We'll throw a generator. And then I'll load UV border, which does this outline on all that. Bring it down to a very thin, small line, as small as I can get it. Okay. And then I'll give it height. And so now it gives me something like this, but it's a little, it's not all right there. It's kind of fat. So, and it's not very puffy. I can try beveling this. Let's see if I can get this distance to be smaller. Okay, now it's pretty fine. And now I have like this kind of bevel. So the bevel effect doesn't work as well when it's larger. And it's a little bit sharp. So then what I'll do is I'll add a filter and I'll blur it. Try to soften that. And then it just gives it much more form now. It might be too, maybe I will bevel it a little bit more. And then blur it a little bit more. Because it looks a little fake. Okay, so you can see that effect. Maybe blur it again. And then I'll do one that's finer. Show your screen. It looks kind of funny.
What's supposed to? It's not gonna look good because it's just for.
Yeah, but it's still cool to see.
So he'll just rise up. Let me set this to. Set this to 0. So he'll rise up like that, right? Then look down, and then go right at Cot's neck. Faces. We got to do some faces.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to play with those faces. But, okay, so it doesn't necessarily look great, but it has the timing you're looking for, right?
No, not the timing at all.
Okay.
It is just to give him the idea. I never lock the animator to the timing because I don't want him to rush it. I'm like, get it right. Don't make it too long. Don't make it too short, but never want to tell him it has to be exactly. Like, I don't know if I would have made. I'll sometimes change the timing and just in the edit because I wouldn't send him this. I'll send him in the edit, and I'll just like mess with it in the edit. Like I'll slow down from this frame to this frame, or speed up from this to that, or whatever.
Oh, I see. It just gives them an idea. That way you're not, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It gets you closer to what you want. Otherwise, they just like, I don't know, starting like without any direction otherwise.
Yeah.
So what is he doing with his hands up? Like, is magic coming out?
Yeah, there's gonna be lightning, red lightning.
It's so it's such a Sith.
Yeah. Because we're saying that like Zord is a super powerful Threadling, yet the only thing we've seen him do is defeat this one fake moth, and then
And then he gets his butt kicked
yeah,
by
so
the real thing. Yeah. But you are seeing him here. It just shows like how strong those moths are. Okay, so I have these seam things in here. You can kind of see. Right now it's slightly more enhanced. I'm also thinking like, as I'm starting to place the stitches on the face, I'll reactivate this one. You know, maybe it shouldn't all be this color. I mean, the color is going to be something like this, but it could change. It's kind of just been the palette. But the other thing I'm thinking is like, you know, what if he has, does this guy have a mouth? What do you, no? Like even a stitch mouth?
Oh, you could have a stitch mouth.
Like what would that be? Like an X? Or like just a happy mouth? Like,
Yeah, that's kind of cool, just like that. I wouldn't make it a sad. Well, there's something kind of cool about it being.
it's kind of cute.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
What if it's I feel like this is like the Charlie Brown.
Dari and Sohi say hello.
What if the mouth is like this? What do you think? I'm actually kind of serious. Or just keep it more simple.
Show it. I think simple looked better.
Okay, let's delete these. And that's kind of like a bunny mouth. Okay, here's a V mouth. What do you think of the V mouth?
That works.
Now look carefully. Or should it be like upside down V?
I think like that. I think that they look a little bit worried is kind of cool. Or like kind of like tight asses, like they don't smile much.
Here's a question. I've had a question as an environment artist. Should I know nuke? I mean, it depends what are you doing in what do you mean by
Everybody
environment?
should know nuke.
Yeah. But it also does depend what you mean as an environment artist. Like if you were getting close to like matte painting, then you should definitely know nuke. Because environment is like encompasses like so many different things. Okay, the other thing I want to do is like see how it looks if I give him like I don't know, like an eye, a color of some sort. Just, I don't know. I just want to play around. Does this guy have like eyes? Does he have cheeks?
Cheeks would be really cool, like a little pinky.
Okay, so I'll do a pink cheek thing. But what about like eye, like actual like eye? Like this whole thing.
Well, you should treat those like they're supposed to be like like glasses, right? Like those safety goggles.
Is that what this is?
Yeah, for minors.
Okay. So
I don't know if minors wear sunglasses.
in the dark.
In my mind, they do. Well, they're not sunglasses; they're protective eyewear.
Let's get some pink coloring. Okay, another question. What's Nuke? Is that what you're using right now? No, Nuke is a compositing program. What I'm using right now is a texture painting. So basically, when I bring in this character, it just looks like this without, or I mean, even with nothing, basically, and I'm applying color and surface information.
Nuke is like Photoshop for video.
Yeah, for footage.
Yeah,
From like moving footage.
that's most footage.
But I do agree, knowing Nuke is important, but I would say I don't use Nuke at all. Miguel does all the Nuke stuff.
Yeah. There was a time when Tran was starting to learn Nuke, and then we made a pact that I was going to focus on the Nuke stuff and you were going to focus on the hair and all the other stuff. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
You were like, you focus on this, I'll focus on this.
Okay, so he's got little pink cheeks. And then I just call it pink.
Is Nuke better than After Effects? There's people out there that can make After Effects do anything. But no visual effects company uses After Effects, if that makes sense. Everybody uses Nuke. After Effects is more for like motion graphics, like you work for CBS and you're making the titles that say Super Bowl, whatever. That would be more After Effects. It's not better. It's just the entire industry is Nuke. Yes, we still use Maya.
Yeah.
Maya's like the oven.
Let's see what happens if his eyes are like this. But keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, they didn't cut me off.
Yeah, Maya is still like the standard. And so we're just using it. A lot of studios are still using it. I don't know if his thing should just be made like it like dips in his eyes. Like should I even texture it, like acknowledge that?
Yeah.
And let it be like metallic? Or you think that looks weird?
They look a little bit like drones, like they're hypnotized. Which I don't know if I think that could be cool. I always pictured it just being darker, so it looks like.
Well, I could do that. Let's try maybe filling like, what is this part?
What do you do if you use Blender and don't learn Maya? Well, that's fine. You could do that, but you'll never get a job. That's the problem. That's the problem with Blender. I think Blender is great, but just nobody uses it except for like one or two small companies in Europe or something. There's no visual effects company that uses Blender.
Yeah, and You know, I definitely see, like, when we first started streaming, we used to end up with a bunch of people that were Blender enthusiasts. And then sometimes they would like bomb the chat and be like, "You're not using Blender," and then they just leave.
So funny. It's like a cult.
Yeah, they were like so angry.
Yeah.
Uh, I think Blender, when I see the Blender stuff, I was so impressed by what it can do. So it's not a question of whether how good it is or if it's better than Maya or not. It's just like we just stuck with Maya, and that's just how it is. And it's really, you know, you can't really change that as an individual. You need a studio to change that. Okay, so let's try maybe in my height.
Yeah, we have nothing against Blender. It's just like it's just a complaint. Like you're an accordion player and you're complaining to heavy metal bands that not enough of them have accordions, right? It's like, okay, that's cool, but no one uses accordions in heavy metal. So you're there with your thing going. So it's just no one no one uses Blender.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if this works. No. Okay, so maybe it needs like I feel like there's so much more I could be doing with this. My creativity is low. I'll just keep stitching it.
Blender can do it all, but its interface is gross. Yeah, we definitely don't want to go down the Blender thing because that was like a curse in this channel for a while. Every single stream, there was one guy that was like, "You could do that in Blender," and it's like, yeah, that's cool. That's like equivalent of going to a park and saying, "My son could do that. My son could do that." To every little kid who's playing, my son could do that. It's like, yeah, that's great, bro. Congrats that your son could also kick the ball. Just imagine how weird you would be if you were doing that at a park. That's exactly what it sounds like when
Yeah, we would get like bombed, and people upset, and it's like, no, Blender's no one.
we like Blender.
There's nothing wrong with it.
We
It's
don't
just
use Blender.
we don't use it, and for whatever reason, it's just not a standard.
Yeah,
That's just how it is. It doesn't mean it's not awesome. It doesn't mean that Maya is better than it.
that's right.
Okay, let's try this blanket stitch.
But
But I do feel like limited in Maya. But we still need to use it. I don't know, like I feel like one day there's gonna be something that just takes over.
yeah, I have no doubt that what's going to happen is one day one of the studios like ILM or something will announce
They're using something else.
that they're using Blender for The Mandalorian season 4 or whatever, and then something will happen.
Well, that's what happened. That's what kicked off this whole Unreal stuff, right? Was the Mandalorian, really?
Yeah. But you need a big company to commit to that.
And then everyone jumps on it, and there was like this whole boom of people just doing stuff in Unreal.
It's like overnight.
Yeah, including us. We're like, oh, this is amazing, and it is amazing. Unreal is amazing.
And what Netbug says is right. It's like if studios use MS Paint, then you got to learn it.
Yeah,
If
and
you want a job, if you just want to do hobbyist stuff, then you don't have to. One of my best friends only uses Blender. He doesn't work in the industry, but he just does his short films, and that's he loves it, and he does a lot of stuff.
yeah, it is pretty impressive. Like you're like, oh man, that would be really difficult to do in Maya, or you know, there's not resources.
Well, what it is there's just a bazillion freaking tutorials on that thing.
Yeah, there's so many tutorials. Um, and I think that plays a big part. Let's try changing the color of the stitch. Are you playing a rain sound?
I've been playing Rain Sound.
You know, it's funny. I can barely ever hear it, but some people say they can hear it. I don't know what other color I should go for. Let me have my palette in here. This blue color. What do you think of the orange stitch and the blue stitch? No blue stitch. It looks like a baby toy.
Yeah, it looks like a baby toy.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the wrong movie.
But what do you think about the orange stitch?
I like it.
It's not the right orange. It's okay if it's a little bit different. Maybe something like this. Yeah, I think the stitching is bringing it more together. Let's do something around the eye. And I don't know, maybe try like a weird one that I was complaining about earlier. This one could look really interesting. Don't like this color. And then maybe change the size to 1.4. They kind of look like eyelashes, which is kind of weird. But I'm just going to commit to this and get it all around. I kind of like this dark color. Kind of lost it. I can get it back by selecting a sample and just adding that swatch. And let's activate this again. Maybe it needs higher metallic. That's what it needs. Let's do the same here. Okay, some questions. That's a long question. I don't know if you'll get the support. So there's a question from Casey Forrester. You made a mistake grooming your character in a pose, thinking I could pose it in ZBrush and bring the model back into Maya, and the groom would follow a new pose.
You can still do that.
You can pose in
No, but this would still work. So if you posed it,
as long as you don't lose vert order.
Yeah, as long as you didn't lose the vert order, you'd be able to just blend shape, and then the groom should follow along.
Yeah. So you should be able to blend shape it, but if you lost the vertex order, then it won't blend shape. And you can lose vertex order. I don't know if you're working OBJs or FBX, but if you're using ZBrush, you're probably using OBJs. When you import, I'll just give you a quick tip if you don't want to lose the vert order. When you import from ZBrush and Mesh, and you want to set your file type to OBJ, you just have to make sure that it says single object like that. And then you won't lose the vertex order. So vertex order is a vertex ID. So if you were to select a vertice in Maya, it actually has a number that's uniquely assigned, like a fingerprint. And if you import incorrectly, the mesh will look the same, but the numbers actually change on the vertices. And you can just check if you can easily check by trying to blend shape, but just so I show you what that means, like if I go to vertex mode, I select that vertice and I open up my script editor.
You don't even have to do it like that.
Yeah, but I just want to show them.
Yeah.
Like when you select a vertice.
Yeah, but that looks even more complicated.
No, this is just to show, because a lot of people don't know what vertex ID.
No, I know, but that
Yeah.
still looks more complicated. There's an easier way to show that.
Just to blend shape it?
No, close the graph editor, go to attribute editor, like
This one?
no, control A, like the channels.
Okay.
Click on the vertice. And you can see it up on the top if you click it.
You mean like
It
this?
has the number. You see?
Yeah.
It's less intimidating than the script editor.
I guess so.
Script editor, you see all this stuff constantly changing.
Yeah, but I mean, like a lot of like Gnomon students, they have to learn how to do scripting anyway. So I don't think when I show them that way, they're like fine. Right. But yeah, that is one way to do it. But you don't want to check each number. Like all you have to do is like blend shape. So like if that let's say you brought in a mesh from ZBrush and that's a pose. I know it's not the same, but it's changed the shape of the mesh, but the vertices are still the same because it's just duplicate. You can oops. My brain is you can, and then that should transfer the fur. But again, that might not work because I don't know your situation. Okay, so what do you think his eyes?
I like that.
He looks kind of happy. There we are. I mean, he's cute, no?
Yeah.
I wonder if his pants should be like a different color. Like what colors do you see him as? This is just beige right now.
I don't know. I think you should put like the stockings have like these horizontal lines. Those are interesting.
But should they be different colors?
They could be striped, yeah.
I mean, it is striped.
No, I know, but color it.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's fine. Which one's doing that? It must be this one. Well, I hope what I said made sense. So, okay, so here's the stripe here. Let's go base color. So what I'm wondering is if I can pull information from one of these channels. Roughness might be helpful. So I have a stripe pattern. We have a cricket in the house, I think. And then Miguel was saying like I could color the stripe. So I can do this really painfully and then paint each stripe, which will suck. So I don't want to hand paint each one because I'll just be tracing that forever. What I can do is pull this data and I'll create an anchor, which allows me to reference that. I'll create a fill here and I'll just keep it, I don't know, I'll just change it to an orange color because that is the color I'm using. I'll add a black mask, pull up that fill, drop that anchor in, and I can choose to tell which channel I think is helpful. So now I have that data in here. And what I can do is I can invert that. And color correct this in the opposite direction. I might not get it all in this one level.
What was the question? That if you want to, I think everyone should know Nuke no matter what. But if you just want to be an environment artist and work on Unreal Engine, sure, you don't have to, but you should.
But you know, it might not be, depending on where you're at, it may not be your priority in what it is that you're trying to do. So it's kind of like a really broad question and not really cater to you as the artist. Okay, let's see if I can crunch this. Let's have that update. Okay, so now I have a color. Oh, it looks like it's on everything striped. Okay, so when it pulled that data, I need to anchor this. And I'll set this to multiply. Okay, so now I have like a color here. Let's just put this to apply color only. And we'll multiply it. I don't know what his color scheme is. You probably want to keep them kind of gray, right?
Yeah. That's funny. Looks like he's wearing like chaps.
What are chaps?
Those cowboy things. Things that they wear to protect themselves while they're riding.
Oh, I see. Let's see. I'm going to Google that. Okay. Like these cowboy pants.
Yeah, you see how the front is like
that. Yeah, it makes sense. I don't know. I don't ride horses. It kind of does look like that. Yeah, he's got like an underwear shape. But I think it's kind of funny. Or should I color that one too? Or can I leave it like that? I can give him a different color. I'll call this stripe color A. And this one probably carries that. So I can duplicate this.
It's Hollywood effects. Silly question. You shouldn't learn Nuke ASAP. You should just learn Nuke. ASAP, you should just focus on the 3D and Unreal side, but you should know Nuke. But it's not like the most urgent based on what you said you want to do. Silly question. I find it very hard to block out with perspective concept art.
Well, it's not really a silly question. I think I think a lot of people probably find that difficult. You just got to do the best that you can. meaning like you have concept art of an environment and their perspective is not necessarily always accurate. And when you're looking at drawings of environments, because it's a drawing, you just have to make it work. Like I wouldn't cheat to match a drawing. It's just you just make an interpretation of the drawing. And sometimes how good it looks depends on how good the drawing is, right? So, you know, there's only so much you can do. I think you just try to get the spirit of it, but you can really break something by trying to match a concept precisely. Okay, so now I have an anchor here, and let's throw an anchor here. And I just want to transfer. Okay, that's not that one. Okay, something broke. Stripe thread. B. Okay, let's try it again.
Jesse. What's up, Jesse? Is this Jesse from Gnomon Jesse or a different Jesse? I can never tell. The thumbnail is so little.
0.523, 0.9523.
He's so nice. Okay, so let's see.
Okay, so now I have this weird stripe. And we'll do that. So now I have a stripe color for the front. So now he's, I don't know, less goofy. And he's got like mitten stripes. Yeah, I think gray is the thing to do. Do you think his like eye goggle should be darker?
Yeah. See, in my mind, Jesse, you graduated like 2 years ago, and it's probably been like 6 years ago, right? How long has it been?
Yeah, I think time passed by a little too fast. Okay, so he's got his bandit mask. I'll call this 100%. Let's do another 8 here. You like that bandit mask?
Yeah, I want one like that.
Okay, so this will do this at 70%. I'm just gonna see if I can get like variations like this. And it kind of helps pick up like some shading stuff. And let's try, I'm gonna duplicate it. What do you think of that when he looks like a bandit?
It looks like the Hamburglar. I don't know about that.
No, I agree.
I'm not even sure about those stripes.
Well, you're the one who came up with, told me to do that.
Yeah, but you interpreted what I said very differently. I meant you have these horizontal lines on his socks. Like, make those different colors.
What does that mean?
Look at his socks.
Okay.
Where are the horizontal
Oh,
lines
you
on his
mean this
socks?
thing?
Yeah.
But you don't think that this pulls out his little pants? It looks kind of cute.
It looks like a preschool toy now.
Oh, is it the cheeks? Okay, so what makes it look like a preschool toy?
I think the color palette right now, he looks like a little.
Well, he looks like even more like a toy right here.
Put that back.
No?
Can we color the hat? I think the hat, he's got like a
What color should it be? Like a brown?
something. Yeah, Hamburglar.
You know, the palette is a bit tough because when I was doing like those masks, like the owl mask, they look cool because I was like using red. And it's here it's like everything is gray or brown. Okay, so if you don't want the hamburger, then I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. I like the little hat. He needed that color.
I mean, maybe
Can we
he's
darken the shoes a little bit?
maybe I need more brown colors. But I don't know if brown makes it look more preschooly.
No, it looks good. That already looks better.
What about this being darker?
Try it. I mean, why don't you just do the whole glasses? Yeah, even that.
Now he's definitely, well, he looks more like goggles. He doesn't look, he looks less like a bandit, I guess.
You deselect. Oh, that's the stitching.
Yeah.
It looks like selected or something.
You know, like, you just feel all that. Like, what if he's just a different color?
No. Will the hat always stay up like that? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it will stay up.
They're like little gnomes.
I mean, he does look like a toy because he's like literally made out of fabric. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Get rid of the goggles. I like that now he has hair on the back.
So the goggles are gone.
Just select like the whole inside and make it that brown color.
What do you mean the whole inside? Just this?
Whole inside the goggles. Just the back of it. Let me see.
Hold on, I'm missing. If you don't want it to be like cute, then I would just get rid of this.
Can you blur that a little bit so it doesn't look so clowny? It looks
Like that.
he is a gnome. He is a Gnomon gnome. Say that 5 times.
Okay. So how still preschool? I mean, the thing is, he looks like a toy no matter what. You know what I mean? Like if
Like how Ricardo's famous.
yeah.
Ricardo the Anteater.
Maybe he overall needs to be like starting at this tone or something like that.
No, I think the color he was at was fine.
But I'm just thinking like if he was darker, he looks less like a preschool toy. Not this dark, but does that look less like a toy? I mean, he just looks like a toy.
I mean, he
because,
looks like a toy. Yeah.
because his show shape looks like a toy. Isn't that kind of the thing?
Yeah, a toy is fine, just not like a preschool toy.
The thing with these guys is they don't have the world doesn't have much color. They're all beige, and then Zora is like this red thing.
It's not about that. It's about the values, pulling out certain things. What happened to his shoes? Why did his shoes? Can you get the color of the hat on the shoes?
Yeah. This hat.
Ricardo wants to know. I'm not even going to answer that because it's terrible.
Why?
No, not at all. He's not. He's not at all. Yeah. So the shoes have to be the same color as the hat.
Should his gloves be darker?
They can be. Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah. He's already looking better.
He looks more macho.
Yeah, and then the button has to be one color, not that like edge thing you have going on there.
He looks, I don't know, he looks like he's tough with darker gloves. If there's such a thing as being tough.
They are tough. They're mine workers. They're miners.
Let me try to add stitches here.
You know what else would be really cool is just make them dirty. Like just do a dirt pass.
I can do that.
Like those coal workers, like they're always dirty.
Yeah.
Because then he'll really stand out.
Let's try some kind of stitch here. Feather or a tree stitch. Okay, so I'll start here. Hoping these stitches make him look, I don't know, it's more defined. Let's place another one here.
I want to see this gnome in the student lounge.
Yeah, like we don't, I know it's like really nice. Well, I think I went there like during the that event, and I gave like Crystal a tour.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's actually incredible because it's like this. It's like a dream kitchen, like a dream college space, to be honest. And it has like a massive kitchen with a really nice big fridge and very open space. Yeah, there's like a large TV screen and couch where you can see a bunch of students chilling, like they're hanging out. And then like on the side, there's like a desk with like a row of computers. So if you, I guess if you wanted to, you could do some work in there. So, which is my idea, I guess, of fun. Like if you're on the computer all the time, like what like I like to do is if Miguel is like watching a movie, I like to work while he's watching a movie, and we're just hanging out, which is super lame of me, but that's my idea of like social time.
Yeah, you won't watch a thing, but you just like to hear it playing in the background.
Well, no, I like to like hang out with you while you are doing something,
Mm.
and then I'm working. It's just better than working by yourself. There's a socialness to like working at Gnomon, I think.
So what she's saying is she has heard every awesome movie ever seen.
No, because sometimes I put headphones on.
There you go.
But to me, it's like that's hanging out. That's hanging out and getting work done.
What an adventurer you are.
Well, I mean, look, look at who's hanging out with us. You guys, we're like lame. I'm less entertaining than a movie.
We're lame, and then there's 21 lamer people here.
Okay, I think the orange is okay. Let's try a different stitch for this. I'll just draw this roughly across, and then I'll try something else. I don't know. Let's go. If it's too decorative, it will look. Really want to do like a classic stitch. I mean, this one's kind of neat. Maybe the straight one works. It might need more. It might be too thick. What do you think of like the orange stitching?
I like it.
It feels like a worker kind of, right? In a weird way. I mean, I don't know.
I had never associated the color of threads with workers, but yes.
Well, it's orange, like construction worker.
Oh, I see. That's a big stretch, but yes.
Well, that's how my mind thinks.
That's funny.
There's a question. You want to answer that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In front of our desk, there's a 150-inch screen. So yes. It's
We just have a working, our home is a working space. Sorry, I cut you off. What were you going to say? when we moved out here, we catered everything to work.
Chatty on fire. What's up, man? Yeah, you've been gone for a while.
Good to see you. I wonder if any of you guys like Ricardo, if you're still listening, like you guys have graduated already, if you guys got a chance to check out the new campus. Because it's really amazing. Okay, what do you think of that stripe?
I love it. I want that hat. Wait. I don't know if I'm gonna wear a pointy hat. Never mind.
What's wrong with the pointy hat? It looks like a gnome hat, no?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, to me, it looks like a gnome hat.
Yeah.
The nice thing is that he's an extra. Okay. Oh, Ricardo says, you're in North Cal. Where are you at in North Cal? Like, well, I don't know, you don't have to say your location. But I'm always curious, like, where, you know, how your paths are going in your career and things like that. Question.
No, it'll be rigged to have a little bit of a bounce to it, but not to sag. We want it to be pointed up and silly.
Yeah. So actually, like, this character, I see I could find like the base. It's somewhere. I mean, I can definitely find it. Just sometimes there's a lot of files. I know this is an extra. See my file name. Let me search it real quick.
That's cool.
Let me open this. So like there's a basic mesh underneath. I'll show it to you once the ZBrush loads because it takes a bit. And then what happens is the cloth is simulate on top of that base. And the base mesh is like a very simple body model. It's still loading. Let's swap back. Yeah. Okay, I think it's up. So that is the mesh. And it's not super fancy. And then what will happen is this will be just auto rigged, and then we'll have mocap animation. So it's not a main character, it's a background character. So the rig doesn't have much. It doesn't even have mouth. So it just will walk around. And so these characters designed like low investment time and very simple performances. And since they don't talk, they don't have eyes, they don't blink or anything, they kind of just look like the way they look, so that we don't expect facial performance from it. The main characters will have like, they have like fully realized faces and expressions. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of as much extras as we can load in the background. Like it does get really slow if you have too much. But we'll have shots like where they're wider, kind of showing the world, and just these guys running around. There's a lot of weird looking guys.
Yeah, that's kind of why they look generic. They're kind of intentionally generic, so that they can just take up a lot of the background and
then
look repetitive. Look like they're meant to be repetitive.
Yeah, and I think like there will be variations on this texture, but like not massive variations. Just the hat's a little bit different, or the color's a little bit different. We'll probably set up those variations through like a material in Unreal, so that just not doing like unique textures and everything, because it will take a long time.
Oh.
Okay. You can see stitching takes a bit, but it does make it feel like more complete, right? What do you think?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it totally looks better.
He looks like the dark gloves makes him feel like he's tougher.
Like he's a worker.
Yeah.
I do think that you could maybe do something darker in that white strip that is by the shoulders.
Oh, it would look like working straps or something.
Yeah.
The file save.
It'll look like suspenders.
Okay, save. I guess it should be brown. Like that. And the button should be a darker color.
Darker, but not that dark.
Let's call this one button. And then this one is shoes and glove. And then the button here, I'll just fill these. And then make it lighter. Like that.
Yeah.
I do have these strings, which are kind of cool. Okay, let's keep stitching. That is the longest part. But I don't feel it's bad at all.
Whistle while you work. That's a good song.
Yeah, this guy looks like really like a dwarf. I mean, I call him, his name is Gnome.
He's a gnome.
So
We should just call them the gnomes. Just say it really fast, and people
Gnome.
gnomes.
Okay, I lost the stitch property. Okay. There's like static. What's that static from?
I don't know.
Okay. Keep going. I might not finish this because I want to see how the rest of it looks. I mean, normally if this was the main character, the stitches would not all be one color, but maybe it just keeps them more generic, which is kind of what we want. Okay, so I keep selecting that thing.
I liked it that the new Unreal has a diffuse weight now on a light.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so you could. One of the things we used to want all the time is to have a light affect the specular only and not the diffuse. Remember?
yeah,
And there was no way of doing it, but now there is, which is cool.
and that's a big thing because sometimes,
Well, it's just for like eye lights, they're huge.
yeah, still can't like light link though.
Well, you could light link. It's just not the ideal light link, but
It's a crappy at light link, but it would be really nice.
well, I have to see what else is new in 5.5 because
I know like they improved like I don't know, like the lights and oh that's right. Like I remember seeing a preview like you can load images now and before you had to use like this media, this weird like video like sequences.
they were so slow.
Yeah, and it would break all the time and not work. So they're like, I kind of can't see the crease very well. So I realized like some of these stitches are just not lining up. But I think that's okay.
Why don't we do stream on other people's channels sometimes to bring more people to the streams here and to the project?
We have had co-streams with
We don't really. I mean, to be totally honest, like we want people to come for Gnomon, but Tran and I personally like we like it small, right? I don't know. I like it small. I rather people not even see anything until the film is done, and then come back and watch this if they wanted to.
yeah, it's not a bad way to put it. Okay. I'm just trying to see where my stitches sit. So this is construction worker orange. Yeah, it's like weird static. Is it just me?
No, I hear it. I just don't know where it's coming from.
My mic.
It's very weird. That stopped.
Yeah, it's my mic. I think it's not.
Tran has like a Fisher Price microphone,
No, I don't have a Fisher Price.
and then she has a really expensive one sitting on the table, disconnected.
Well, that one doesn't have a on and off mic, and it doesn't connect to my computer. and I need it. Okay, so let's try a stitch around their waist. I'm gonna stick with the straight stitch. I think it is working out. Okay. Okay, so some of that stitch is like doubling up very weird. I can place more points.
I think he's looking really cool.
The stitches kind of bring it together, right?
No, we don't have a microwave nearby. We're lazy, but not that lazy. We would not have the microwave right next to the desk. We have a popcorn machine right next to the screen, right next to the desk, right next to the soda fountain.
You're just dreaming now. We used
That's
to
a nightmare, actually.
Yeah, you know, when you said that, it reminds me of the place we used to work at.
What, Cafe Effects?
Yeah, how it had everything.
It had everything.
Yeah, it was like one of the greatest facilities. It shut down, which is sad, but it used to have everything. Like if you go into like in a common kitchen area, it was a massive kitchen, like really like restaurant size. It was not used enough either, because you literally could have like, it was like a diner style restaurant.
The
And
kitchen was the size of a TGI Fridays. Bigger.
yeah, it was huge. And you know, there was a bar, and on the bar
Every candy
was
known to man.
every candy, and it had two massive industrial fountain machines, and it had every single flavor of soda that you can think of.
Like the cherry, lime, lemon,
And then you could add cherry and lime
vanilla.
or vanilla on top of it. And there was two of them. It was all free. And again, there was every single candy bar available to you, like in all kinds, not just there were chocolate and hard candies and everything. And then it on the side it had two bowling lanes. And that was like the kitchen area. And it was like a dream kind of workplace. But it didn't survive, which is sad. Okay, so I can't get under the button because it's 3D. So I can only draw up to there. You know what I'll do? I'll just like try to slide it underneath. Bobby says sounds amazing. And there should be a restaurant where they wear hats. I bet you there's a restaurant where people wear gnome hats. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm trying to slide the stitch underneath the button, just in case what you guys are wondering. I'm doing. So it's 3-dimensional. And I don't know if I could hide this button. 111. Yeah, I can hide it. Oh, but when I click on it, it comes back, which is kind of lame. So I can't really hide it. I'll just draw underneath that button. It's probably like super crooked underneath there.
So when you say it sounds amazing, it is, but
It's like
you have to constantly you had to.
you have to make sure you're not going to get diabetes.
Yeah,
So
if you like took advantage of that, you would just gain 1,000 pounds because it was all
bad.
there all the time and free. It was actually terrible.
It was super unhealthy.
You know what? I think I probably ate. I was there for almost 2.5 years. I think I probably ate 2 chocolates in those 2 years, maybe 3.
Well, when I was there, I definitely ate more than 2 chocolates.
There was people there that were eating just an absurd amount of chocolates, just so many chocolates.
It was gluttony.
Yeah.
There was a person there that used to like. Oh, you also had free coffee too, and they would get coffee and then grab 2 giant king size like Snicker bars, and then dip it in the chocolate
And melt it in
and
the
just melt it in the chocolate.
yeah.
And I tried it once. I didn't put 2 giant things. I just tried to put some chocolate in there, and it doesn't really. I don't know. I feel like it's a waste because the coffee just kind of drowns out the chocolate.
No, that's just gluttony right
Yeah,
there.
and you
That's
don't
just like,
really enjoy like the chocolate. It just tastes like a weird,
yeah.
like a bad mocha.
It's like a bad 800-calorie coffee.
Yeah, but it might be different if you stick 2 king size chocolate
Yeah, it's
bars.
1,000 freaking calories.
But it might actually taste good. But I couldn't do that. Okay, screwed up my points. Just keep tracing this guy's torso. Will look more like a worker with this orange, I guess. One thing I wish this had was an easier way to change colors. Like right now, like if I wanted to change it, I couldn't change all of it at once. I would have to, pretty sure I have to do it one by one, which would, just take a bit. Like there's not like a easy way to just change the colors. Okay. Keep going. All right, finally made it around. Okay, what do you think of the stitching?
I think the stitching looks great. Yeah, that mic is. If it's that mic. You don't know.
I need a switcher. I need to be able to turn it off and on.
Turn it off. Let's see. Static's still going.
I think you just after the stream we just have to like unplug, plug things back in, and that could work. Okay, so you think? I mean, he does look like a toy. I don't know if you can get away from. He's a toy worker. But that's kind of the appeal, isn't it? Like that they're kind of cute and there's like this dark contrast of a psycho character.
Yeah, of course.
I think that we're almost up on time.
Yeah, I think we're done. It's basically two. So, all right, guys. Well, I think this is a good spot to leave it because you have it right in the.
Yeah, I'll probably wrap this up. If I don't wrap it up outside, I'll just do it, save it for the stream.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for joining and hanging out.
See you later.